Hey everyone! So it's been quite a while since I did one of these sit down rambling about films ASMR videos. So if you are new to my channel or new to the concept of ASMR, basically the point of ASMR is to be relaxing. That's it in a very brief nutshell. So these videos are going to be longer than my usual film-based videos, and I will be speaking a bit more softly and just kind of chatting about films so we can have a casual conversation about films we like and don't like and want to see. And on that note, I think I'll start with a couple of films that I would really like to see. The rest of the video will be going through this as usual. This is the notebook in which I keep a complete list of all the films that I have watched, which is a great way to recap and look back at some films that I'd completely forgotten I'd seen. So we'll go through this in a minute and go through some of my recent viewings. But first of all, I'm going to talk about 3 films. The first one I have reviewed, and that video will already be up, and that's The Girl on the Train. So if you haven't seen my review video, all I will say is please watch The Girl on the Train. Please ignore all the many negative reviews about that film until you've had a chance to view it for yourself. It may be my favourite film of 2016. It may be one of the best films I've ever seen. And that's weird because I don't know anybody who's got anything genuinely positive to say about it. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. The other 2 films that I'm so excited about just now, well, the first one I didn't even know existed, despite the fact that it was announced last April. I don't know where I've been. Maleficent, I can't get my words out. Maleficent 2. How incredible, we're getting a Maleficent sequel. Being a huge Angelina Jolie fan, this makes me very excited. Being a huge Maleficent fan, this makes my excitement off the scale. I cannot wait until we start having teaser trailers and promo images. I cannot wait. And on that note of promo pictures, we have actually had a few images now, quite a few images, and a couple of teeny little video clips from the filming of Ocean's 8. I can't believe it. Two of my top 6 favourite actresses, Helena Bonham Carter and Sandra Bullock. Cate Blanchett's probably number 7 in my list of favourite actresses, so I'm just seeing these pictures of Bullock and Bonham Carter and Blanchett are just blowing my mind. And obviously we still have quite a while for this film to come out, but I'm so excited. I just can't believe it. And Mary Poppins Returns. We have Colin Firth, Emily Blunt, who I'm now a little bit obsessed with thanks to The Girl on the Train. She looks so much like Eve Miles. That's all it takes for me. Ben Whishaw is playing Michael Banks. Ben Whishaw as Michael Banks in Mary Poppins Returns. That's so exciting. So they're the kind of distantly upcoming films that I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be a long wait. It's going to be a really long wait. But I have seen some amazing films recently that I don't have to wait for. And this notebook, in case anybody's wondering, I got from Disneyland Paris. It's actually double-sided, so we have 2 images of Jack. And let's see. So I think I last did one of these in August, so we'll go through the films that I've seen in September and October. Obviously I won't talk about every single one because there are more than I thought. Actually, we're talking about 100 films in 2 months, which is a little bit disturbing. So we have The Girl on the Train and Lovely Bones are the last 2 that I saw, and I've talked about The Lovely Bones in my A to Z films video. I watched Almost Christmas, which is a Paul Rudd film, and it's all the way down to the bottom here. I watched Almost Christmas and I was so disappointed in it. I just thought, this is not a good film. I think for me it's because Christmas films have to be quite happy and magical, and for me it just didn't. That's not the point in this film. It's all about a guy who's been released from prison and he has to get his life back together, but his wife and daughter have moved on, and it's just not a good film. I watched The Pool, which is a subtitled film. It's in It's either in Dutch or Spanish, and I know that's completely different, but I was watching another subtitled film and I can't remember which was which. But again, I was really disappointed by that. It's all about this family who go camping by a lake and all these weird things happen. Credit where it's due, it's quite graphic, and I love that, you know, it doesn't really sugarcoat anything, so if you're squeamish, it's not going to be for you. But in general, I didn't think it was that good. I watched AI, Artificial Intelligence. High five to the fellow Robin Williams fans who recommended it. He's not really in it, he's a voice, but that was good. So AI, Artificial Intelligence, is all about this little boy who is actually a robot. He's the first mechanical child to be created, and he wants his new human mother to love him, and he wants to be a real boy. A little bit of Pinocchio going on there. I thought it was sweet. I didn't think it was this amazing story that so many people said it would be, but I didn't think there was anything wrong with it either. I would recommend it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again unless I was doing like a chronological viewing of Robin Williams' filmography or something. But I think standing on its own, it's alright. Haley Joel Osment was very, very good in it, so I would definitely recommend it. Oh yes, Friend Request. Wow, Friend Request. There are very few horrors that can scare me, or thrillers, because I've developed a tolerance to them. Friend Request was terrifying. I don't know why, like, it wasn't terrifying in the sense that I was watching it thinking, well, we all have social media, therefore this could really happen. I just think the way the story was told, so many uncertainties, and I didn't know what direction it was taking, so it really had me on the edge of my seat for quite a while. It was quite scary. I watched the Da Vinci Code. I loved it. The Da Vinci Code, I can't believe it's taken me this long to watch it, and I think the reason I love it is, well, I guess there are a few reasons. One, I love history. Two, I love museums and artifacts and things like that. Three, I love wild goose chases. Four, I'm a spiritualist, so the whole Last Supper painting was really, really fascinating for me. And is this a spoiler? Okay, yes, I won't go into too much detail about why I loved the element that was revealed in the Last Supper painting, just because I think it might spoil it. But what is revealed about that is a theory that I've not actually heard of before, and now it's all I can see, and I think it's wonderful. It's so good, and I'm just now absolutely fascinated by that concept, and it's so wonderful. Such a good film. I will see Inferno, but I haven't yet seen Angels and Demons, and I do want to watch them in order, so I probably won't get to see Inferno in the cinema. I mean, I might, if I can get a copy of Angels and Demons quickly. We'll see how that goes. But yes, the Da Vinci Code was just fantastic. Freaks is another film that I watched. This was quite a recent watch. In fact, we're still only on kind of the last 2 weeks worth of films. Freaks is a 1930s, 1920s black and white film about these characters who are, to want for a more PC term, freaks. They all have different things wrong with them, and there's this family involved. I think they were called the Doll family, I think, and they're all really short. And I just thought it was such a good story, and I'd love to see a remake of that with the 21st century perspective. I don't know, it's just that kind of thing that fascinates me, but I don't think they'd get away with it today. But I think it's not offensive, it's not done offensively. You know, the problems they have in the film are nothing to do with these things that make them freaks. They're just normal characters who happen to be a little bit different. And I think if somebody remade that, it would be really enjoyable. I can't remember the exact date of the film's release off the top of my head, but the information will all be in the description, so if you want to check out the film, I definitely recommend that you do. What else have I seen? Microwave Massacre was odd. It's all about a man who cooks his wife and eats her. It was interesting. Yeah. I also watched Wayne's World. And Wayne's World was a good film. I will say it was a good film, but I have no intention of watching any of the other films. I don't even know how many there are after Wayne's World. It was alright. Basically it's about these guys who have their own kind of web show, web broadcast, and they get a TV deal and there's a little bit of malice there and they're trying to steal the show from them. And I don't know, I mean even back then when it was filmed, that's quite topical. So it's really stood the test of time in that sense, but for me it was just a little bit too immature humour. But it was enjoyable enough. That's not worth talking about. Oh, Dad's Army. I finally saw Dad's Army. I love Bill Nighy. I will say I haven't seen the Dad's Army TV series. Nearly said Bill's Army there. But the film was really lovely and not what I was expecting. I probably wouldn't watch it again, just because I kind of know how it concludes and I'm not that interested in the story. It's more the script, the dialogue. I'd love to see the script and how they've kind of written it and what's changed and what was ad-libbed, and I just really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would. And I heard a lot of negative things about Dad's Army as well, so I'm really pleasantly surprised. I won't say too much about Bridget Jones's Baby because I've reviewed it and I've kind of gone on and on about it ever since I saw it. But I love Emma Thompson, so you can't really blame me. And I thought Renee Zellweger was as amazing as always as Bridget, and Sally Phillips was fantastic, and Patrick Dempsey and Colin Firth were amazing. Just if you haven't seen Bridget Jones's Diary, please see it, because it's just... it's incredible. It was one of my favourite films of 2016, but now having seen Girl on the Train, I'm not really sure which my favourite is. I will make a decision and do a top 5 2016 film releases in the new year. Goodness, we've only got 2 months left of this year. I don't understand that. In fact, by the time this video is up, we'll already be in November. And that's... I don't like that. It's scary. Trumbo. Trumbo was very, very interesting. I don't know much about Trumbo himself as a writer. So for me it was kind of a fresh, a new perspective. Maybe if you know a lot about his work anyway you may think differently, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it kind of looked at censorship in Hollywood and how they used to block certain things, and having writers having to write under pseudonyms because certain people weren't allowed to write films. It's very heavy going and very educational, and it's a topic that I would love to branch out with, and maybe a topic I'd actually like to write about. That's just something that's going to sit and ferment in the back of my mind until I ever decide to do something with it. But yeah, it's something that really interested me. The Nanny Diaries. Nanny Diaries was really good. It kind of has a hint of Mary Poppins about it. It's about this young girl who nannies for this rather wealthy family and her young son, and she's not actually a nanny. She kind of gets this job accidentally, and she realises all of this, the horrible way this child is brought up, because he is brought up by his nanny rather than his parents, who are too busy and they have too much of their own things to get on with in life. And it kind of looks at choosing careers and wealth over children. It's really eye-opening and very poignant, but at the same time, if you kind of remove yourself from those serious messages, it's also very funny and very cute. So I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I think you can get a different experience out of it depending on what you're in the mood for. And I think the last film I will talk about, okay, the second last, because I don't want to go into too much detail about it, is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I've reviewed it. I've basically spent 3 years talking about it non-stop. Being a Burtonite, can you blame me? I thoroughly loved it. I loved Tim Burton so much. And the last film is Crybaby. Crybaby is a Johnny Depp film, and a lot of Johnny Depp fans say that it's one of his best. Honestly, I kind of have to disagree. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all, really. I just didn't like it. It's obviously the Romeo and Juliet story of people falling in love, but their families are from different backgrounds, and they're not destined to be together even though they believe they are. Kind of has a hint of Grease about it because of, well, people are in cars a lot singing, and obviously the story matter, and it's a musical. But I just didn't really enjoy it. But then again, I don't like the story of Romeo and Juliet, and I don't like Grease either. And because the film reminded me of those two aspects, I didn't enjoy it. It did have an interesting outcome, and I do think Johnny Depp looks dashing. but I also know from reading many interviews with him that this was not the kind of character he wanted to play. And I'm so glad that he got away from playing this poster boy character and going into these more Sweeney Todd, Jack Sparrow, Willy Wonka characters that are just mental and just don't make any sense, and I love them. But yeah, I'm glad I finally seen it, because I think as a Johnny Depp fan you need to see it. But I certainly wouldn't watch it again unless, as with the Robin Williams films, I was kind of going through a chronological film binge of Johnny Depp's movies. But yeah, so they're the films that I've kind of watched recently and for the most part would recommend. I can't remember how long it's been since I've done one of these videos. It must be about two, maybe even 2.5 months. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you have any suggestions for films I should check out, as always let me know, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye!